The full moon in Libra brings with it relationship harmony. So stay tuned because I'm going to share with you 5 ways to help elevate your vibration so that you can expand your heart and be open to receiving the love and harmonic balance that you've been giving away. Let's go! Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Harmony. I'm a twin flame expert helping twin flames around the globe face spheres, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Welcome to my weekly glow show. Today I want to talk to you about the full moon in Libra at 29 degrees. We also have the sun at 29 degrees in Aries. So what we have here is we have passion and air sign coming together to create an exponential version of our expanded self, our higher self. And in the process of that, we're creating balance between our masculine and our feminine energies, our higher self, our lower self, our heads and our heart. And what we're doing really is we're embodying everything that we've learned along this ascension journey. And we're revisiting the timeline of the beginning of the ascension based on the alignment of the astrological events, which are too many for me to list here. The main thing is to know that we're doing rewrites, and that's R-I-G-H-T. And the rewrites are being asked to repeat and revisit what we've learned in order to embody it, embrace it, and to bring it into form. Now, we actually are doing this also if you look at the last month's full moon, also in Libra, and last month's sun, also in Aries, both at 0 degrees. Now, this month, both being at 29 degrees, that is showing what I'm saying in this balance, in this harmonic balance. Now, last month, we've been going through, actually the last 5 months, up through last month, we were opening the portal of the reset of a universal reset, creating neutrality amongst the universal timeline. So now what this is doing is we embody that, we're creating neutrality within ourselves. And it could not also be piggybacked and perfectly aligned with the moving forward with the Easter timeline, the resurrection and rising up out of our ashes as we are creating the new version of ourselves. And we're bringing that into form and really identifying and clarifying who we are and what we came here to bring into form in our lives and in our relationships. So I want to first point out that today's numerology being 4-19-19 for this full moon, it is, if you were to break that apart, the 19 and 19 equal a 10, which is basically an 11, which is in harmonic alignment. If you also were to take a 4, that represents like a 11-11. So basically, if you took the 2 11s and, or say the 1 and the 1 is 2, the second 11 is the 1 and the 1 is also 2. Add those together, you get 4, and then 11 day and 11 year based on the alignment of that. So when it comes to the 11-11, 11-11 represents harmony and balance and neutrality. And so the date could not be a better numerological date in order to align with this neutrality and this harmony and this balance that we're talking about within ourselves. This is also an opening portal that we are having a portal on 4/22 that is also about, excuse me, embodying that balance and bringing it into form coming up here on Monday, which is the Passover. And then, as I said, that is followed then by from Easter on Sunday, being that we are rising and resurrecting into this new version of ourselves, being asked basically to put everything together that we've learned as we've came full circle through these cycles and these seasons of ourself. And so in the seasons of our self, what has been happening is we've gone through the winter, literally here in the Northern Hemisphere, of the death of our old ways, our old patterns, old relationships, our paradigms and belief systems. And then we're coming into, in the springtime, we're rebirthing that aspect of coming alive again, resurrecting. As we evolve through our personal development, we then embody that through an integration process and a process of processing that information so that we can create higher conscious awareness, which will help us grow, which is like the summer season. And then we harvest and we reflect in the fall time. So we go through these cycles of ourself, through our timeline of our soul's evolution. And in that, we are creating a circle of love during this timeline. So we're actually, as we're restoring our soul and creating wholeness and completeness, is what I'm really describing here in this harmony. And the relationship harmony I'm talking about as to what this full moon is all about, it starts from the harmony inside out. So the relationship we have with ourselves is actually a representation of the relationships of all the relationships we have around us. And we are coming into the full timeline, the full circle of our soul's evolution and our cycles of life. And in the circle of love, as I mentioned, where it's about now not have we been giving love, but now we're learning how to receive love and creating the circle of love in a harmonic balance of the give and the take. And dependent upon where you are in this journey is going to be dependent upon how this full moon activates you or affects you. So if you're still in a state of pain and you haven't fully let go of certain aspects of your past, this full moon will hit you in those places to have the light shine in your shadows in order to do another layer of purging, which is what full moons are technically all about. But if you've done a great amount of purging and you are embodying these things now that you've learned, you're being asked to revisit it a second time around, just like, this full moon twice in a row. We're going through these lessons to revisit them, to make sure that we got the lesson, and now to use our new patterns, our new way of doing things as we go forward into the new world, our new lives and our new identities. And so the key in this circle, these circles, and coming full circle in our soul's evolution and where we're on this timeline also is to remember that each time we go in the circle, we revisit things from a higher state of perspective. And we integrate it and we get new information, new data, new lessons, new awarenesses. And that awarenesses becomes power for us so that we can go forward in a way that power becomes embodied within our soul, that we basically are owning our own truth in that. So we're identifying what our truth is and unlocking it through these cycles that I'm talking about. And in the enlightenment, as we go through cycles, to remember it's not a destination. Enlightenment is not. It's about that you will continue these patterns, but no matter what the chaos, that you can find the stillness within and find that harmony inside so that you can transmute that, you can learn from that, and you can go forward in a new way, in a higher way from your higher self, your highest vibration, and align with your highest divinity or your highest good and your highest destiny. And that way you're able to live life more from your heart and experience more fire and passion, which is why this Libra full moon in Aries is perfect, because it's, as I was saying earlier, it's fire meets air, and we're able to create with that. But at the same token, we have to embody it, we have to anchor it, we have to bring it into form, which is why we're repeating the cycles. And so what I want to talk to you about today is some ways that you can be able to increase that light, increase your vibration, to be able to embody this love. Because at the end of the day, what this is technically all about, I mean, every bit of it is all about love. And that the love is all that matters. And is loving from our heart and being able to experience, as I was saying, not just giving love, but understanding what that means to receive love. And, you know, I got to tell you, I just came off of a very transformational weekend where I was put through some personal transformation to learn how to speak from the inside out. And it's called The Power of Wow Now. And I want to thank, you know, my coach in that, Lynn Rose, for helping me basically through the process of giving even into my passion and my purpose and my energy that goes into the delivery of my downloads and that delivery, that not only am I giving through that and it's just going out there, that in the process of giving that I'm filling back up from it all at the same time. And it was very transformational to go through a process of feeling that. So I'm coming out of that, even personally, in a place of feeling more love than I ever have felt in my life. And at the end of the day, when there were exercises that I would go through and give me these emotions and these feelings of not sure I could deliver from that place, because it called for another like layer of like letting go, surrender, allowing, and trusting the process, that in that process, I discovered that I knew how to love and I love to love. But my biggest takeaway was I realized I didn't know how to be loved. So my heart is so full and my heart is so filled up coming out of that. And I see the timeline of that aligning perfectly with this full moon and the embodiment of love that we're being asked to love from our inside out. And so I want to, as I was saying, tell you and share with you 5 things for you to think about that is happening during this timeline, so you can stop resisting it and you can allow it and you can make it a part of this timeline to help it increase your vibration so you can align more and come more into harmony with yourself in receiving. Like the key here is for you to receive, not just be giving. Okay, and that would restore and bring relationship harmony with you during this timeline that will help you align with relationship harmony with other people. Because as we go through this process, you know, not only are we leaving behind our old identity and our past, but it also means that we're leaving behind people, relationships, even the twin flame, and being asked to rise up out of these ashes to become more of who we are from a higher state of being. So in this timeline, the first thing I want to talk about, that this energy is helping you make a deeper connection to yourself. And the things that I'm seeing come up with that is validation as one of the key things. Like no longer needing validation to stand in your power and in your truth, and that your actions and the things that you choose to move forward with, it's as though you don't need the external validation to support your truth. And in that, you're coming into a place of self-respect and you're honoring your feelings. This is a perfect time to honor your feelings, to know how you're feeling and what's coming up, to stop fighting it, because what's happening is tend to cut off a piece of you thinking it's not valid either, that it's not right, or you shouldn't be feeling that way, and that you should always be positive, or you should be past that by now. So stop fighting that. Honor that emotion. Honor that feeling. And in the process of this, you might even need to set loving boundaries with other people. You might need to take some time to go within so that you can honor these feelings, which is ultimately creating more self-respect for you, which other people also respect more of you. And in this timeline, you will be feeling more empowered within the belief of your own truth. As you go forward in that deeper connection to yourself, then as you bring that full circle, you won't need the validation from other people because you will own it. So use this timeline, this full moon energy, to make the deeper connection to yourself so that you don't need external validation, that you can go within to get your own truth, your own power, and honor your own feelings as you go forward in this new timeline. The second thing that this is doing on a very, very big scale, it's creating heart expansion in order to receive more. More love, more light, higher vibrational feelings, being able to be more rather than taking action. You know, a lot of the times when I work with clients, and I felt the same thing over the weekend. I even said, I teach this and I was feeling this, and that was, okay, like, I know what I need to do to surrender here, as far as I see what you're saying, that I need to surrender, I need to be open, I need to allow this energy to come through me. And not only do I need to deliver this message from my heart, but in the process, I need to be open to receiving that back, that energy back. And I'm not allowing it because I'm giving it all away through my expressions or my emotions or my movement. And being able to learn to be more still. And in the stillness, learning to listen more, talk less even sometimes in our lives, so that we learn how to be loved, not just to love. And that this action sometimes is less action-oriented physically, but more action-oriented as in being, and being open to receive, and doing less. And so just like I tell my clients when they say, well, I understand that, but tell me how to do that. Well, the problem is the reason that, the how to do that is saying that you surrender to being and not doing, period. So it's about being open to allow and not knowing how to do steps A, B, and C, but getting out of the way and just letting it unfold and trusting the process that it will unfold. And being open to receive your emotions, your awarenesses, your downloads, your voice, your truth in the process of that. And most importantly, being open to receive and fill yourself back up with love from that. So I talked to you guys a while back about we're doing these heart retrievals. And that in the heart retrieval, most of us have gave away so much love, and even unconditional love with me, maybe out even any expectation. But as I said, in my experience I had even just over the weekend, is I knew how to give love, but I didn't realize I didn't know how to receive love. And I didn't know how to be loved or let love in. And I want to say it's not that I didn't know from the head or I hadn't felt it, but not to that degree. That's the expansion. We're going up in the enlightenment. We're going up in the vibration, and now being able to feel it and experience it on a deeper, wider receptivity level, to the point where I can just feel this liquid love just flowing through my body. And I got to tell you too, like whenever I got home and I was processing, and as I still process this, I can totally feel myself in this state of awe, state of bliss, state of there is no separation, there is no missing anything, nothing is lacking, and I feel so complete, and I feel so whole, and I feel so much love. And in the end, when we are open to allowing ourselves to receive this love, and in this heart retrieval, seeing where we gave love away and documenting that mentally or emotionally, and realizing that it wasn't so much that people weren't maybe trying to give us love back, but we didn't know how to receive it back. So go through your life and, take note of these times that you gave away love, but you didn't feel it return, and just embody that, open it, embrace it, allow it, and let that love come back in, and let go of the idea of the fear of being open and vulnerable to receive that, because it's also about being seen to a different level and creating more vulnerability of being seen that deep. And we try to hide that. We try to block that because it feels uncomfortable to be seen that deep. But that's how deep things are in a twin flame journey. And if you want to experience love on that level with another, you have to experience that within yourself to be able to raise that vibration to align with that love and that love of your life and your beloved, in order to have that experience of the perfect harmony of your relation and all relationships of give and take of love. So the third thing we're doing in this, we're shifting roles. So what I just described to you in this receiving is becoming more feminine. You know, the age of Aquarius is all about the feminine empowerment, and we're aligning with the feminine Christ of the path of being able to resurrect into more bliss and joy and peace and harmony and less effort to create. And that's another reason when in our creation we don't know how to create, because we've had to do so much action, and masculine, you know, version of ourselves knows how to get things done, but our feminine side doesn't know how to do that. And so it's creating these identity crisis. It's making us question, who am I? Who is this person that has now showed up? So I invite you to ask that to yourself. Who am I? What is my heart desire? What did I come here to contribute to the world? And also in that, I'm also seeing, and this is going to piggyback the next one of sexual healing that's taken place, a lot of sexual healing, because the sexual healing has to do with creation and being able to also fully express ourselves from our hearts, and at a deeper layer and level of this vulnerability and authenticity of open, raw, real, who are we? So it's piggybacking, the sexual healing is piggybacking what I'm saying is like sexual identity of, you know, we've been masculine and feminine so many times within different lifetimes. It's kind of like coming in now, not only are we coming out of the age of Pisces and everything being hard, but the majority of us has came in, especially the divine feminine, has came in with this masculine empowerment, and we're being broken down to the core of our being to dump out all of that control, all of that past being hard on ourselves, making everything harder than it has to be, and holding on and clinging to things because we don't know how to let go and surrender and allow, which is the feminine side. So in the sexual healing that I'm seeing, which is number 4, now it's forcing us to create new identity changes, and that's piggybacking the role reversals, because we're shifting from a lot of our masculine ways to the feminine ways. That is forcing us to, from that shift in roles of number 3, it's forcing us to do sexual healing in number 4, because we are creating new identities potentially and shifting our roles from being masculine to feminine, and learning how to create and express and let go of a lot of shame and guilt that is wrapped around sex and sexual expression and sexual pleasure that we need in order to create passion, that we need all of that to create with, which is also part of this full moon that is in Aries with passion. So at the end of the day, the purpose of that is to experience more passion in our heart, in our lives, in our love, with our everyday enjoyment, and in all of our relationships. So we're talking here that we're having to do a deep connection with ourselves in order to find more of our power inside and honor that and our truth. So that number 2, we're expanding our heart, and we're doing the retrieval so we learn how to receive and to be more and to be loved more and to be still more and to listen more. And then as we shift to 3, we're doing this shift in roles where we're flipping either from masculine to feminine or feminine to masculine. So a lot of the divine masculine role, if you're here, you potentially could be shifting to your masculine for more of the feminine sides, as we're recreating these new identities as we rise out of the ashes and rise to our greatest potential, which is taking some sexual healing in order to tap into a deeper part of ourselves, creating more self-expression, more creation, letting go of the shame and the guilt to be able to share our shine in a bigger, bolder, brighter way. And this creates number 5, which is coming into our fullness, coming into our whole, complete, full self of who we are, which means in number 5, we're collecting our pieces and having done the soul retrieval that I've talked about in the past, where, you know, we're revisiting timelines in dimensions and realities, not just this dimension, not just this reality, not just this life, but we're visiting everything as we come into the fullness of who we are and come full circle of our soul's evolution, putting it all together as we go through these seasons of self, the circle of love, giving and taking in harmony, and we create the circle of life and the circle of our soul's evolution so we can embody love and bring love into form and create the harmonic relationship of love in perfect harmony from the inside out as we go forward in the new way to love. And that's when I have a thought for you that came through. I wrote this down because I want to make sure I got it exactly right. Okay? So at the end of the day, what this really means is when it's all over, no matter what you've been through, what hell you've been in back, it doesn't even matter because it's all the only thing that matters is love. The only thing that matters in this world, in this life, and in the reason that you came here is to experience love, especially in this life. And you can only do that from the inside out. And so I invite you to be able to take this affirmation I wrote down today and use it during this powerful full moon for yourself. And it is. And I would like for you to repeat this after me. Okay? I choose to love freely. The love I experience is limitless. I am open to receiving love. Each time I give it away, I receive. I am open to receiving love. And each time I give it away, I receive. The love I give returns to me multiplied. It's so powerful. We're going to do this again. I choose to love freely. The love I experience is limitless. I am open to receiving love. And each time I give love away, I receive. And each time I give love away, I receive. The love I give returns to me multiplied. The love I give returns to me multiplied. But remember, you have to be open to receiving love. You can't just give it all away. And you might love to love, but you have to become open in this journey to be loved. And as me, it might just be the reason why you're not where you want to be or experiencing the highest version of love that you came here to be, do, and have. As you embody love, become love, share love, own love, and love life in everything you do and everyone around you, allowing you to enhance not just the relationship with yourself, but all your relationships and including your beloved. Thank you so much for showing up. This is a divine appointment. If you're here and you've made it this far, it's going to be very powerful for you going forward in this new way, the new earth, with this message to embody what I have said, not just hear it. You need to embody it. And to do that, I also invite you to get plugged in to the resources that I've created to help accelerate your ascension, to help either release your past, unlock your power, or be able to align with passion and purpose. So I have several resources below, so make sure to check those out. I also have, through midnight tonight, Pacific Standard Time, my book, Twin Flame Code Breaker. There'll be a link below that you can get plugged into that for free today through midnight tonight. In the meantime, I send you loads of love, and I'm open, willing, and ready to receive all the love back from all of you. And I want to thank all of you, and I appreciate all of you for showing up and all the love that you've given me. In the meantime, then, may you always face your fears, find freedom, glow forward on fire, and experience divine love. Namaste.